So, back in May 2023, I did a review on the Chrome Industry Ruckus 14-liter backpack, proclaiming to all the world that it was the best small EDC backpack. And to this day, I still say yes, this is true, it's a fabulous bag. But in that video, I also mentioned my interests in the Mystery Ranch Rip Ruck 15, but I passed on it due to, well, a number of yellow flags. I also mentioned in that video that I'd probably end up getting suckered into purchasing the Mystery Ranch Rip Ruck 15 because there's some truly awesome features in it, and I hadn't, quite been able to see those things anywhere else. All of this is to say that I did get the Rip Ruck, and I got it at the same time as the Chrome Ruckus, and I have been testing it out for, since the last video came out about it, so about 8 months ago, and I think I've finally figured out my thoughts on it, so let's get into it. Despite my arms looking like limp noodles, I do indeed work out. So when I got both the Ruckus and the Rip Ruck, I designated the Rip Ruck to be my gym bag. What I didn't expect is that it would evolve into my travel companion and beverage bag and around town bag and so much more. But this bag also threatened to break my brain because there are some major flaws to it that keep it from being my true EDC, but also some amazing strengths that I can't quite let it out of my rotation due to those things. But before we get into that further, let's give some background information. Firstly, this is a pack made by Mystery Ranch. Mystery Ranch was established in 2000 by Dana Gleason and Renee Sipple Baker out of Montana. They've been known for producing high-quality performance packs favored by military personnel and wildland firefighters, hunters, and just general outdoor enthusiasts. They've been a big leader in quality and innovation over the years, which led them to doing collaborations with branches of the military like the Navy and whatnot. They've been in recent news actually due to Yeti announcing their acquisition of Mystery Ranch. I'm not sure what this will all hold for the future of their product's quality, but I'll be keeping an eye on that out of personal curiosity. Now, let's get into the bag. There are two versions of this pack. I currently have the OG, and they've launched an updated version, which seems to be out of stock on their website currently, but more on that newer version in a little bit. My OG version, on the other hand, is still accessible at the time of this video on REI for those that are interested. But let's break this thing down a little bit. This is a 15-liter bag, but it packs a serious punch for capacity. There's some smart organizing going on in this bag too. The rough dimensions are 7.5 inches deep, 10.5 inches wide, 16 inches tall. The weight is 1 pound, 9.6 ounces, and there's a lot of zippers and padding and MOLLE attachment points on this bag, which are contributing to the weight. The material is 330 Robic, and there are YKK zippers. I'm going to lead through some analysis now, and I'll be transparent, there are a lot of cons. You're going to think about halfway through this video, why in the heck did Milo get this? And better yet, why should I consider it? And it's going to be rough, I won't lie. But just hang tight. There are some truly brilliant things happening in this bag, and those things are hard to find anywhere else. Let's start with size and shape. This is a small bag, but it's also a slim bag, and sort of a longish bag. I feel like there are a lot of square bags in this world, short and stout, and I'm not sure if there's like design mechanics in this for load bearing, etc., or maybe there isn't, and it's just the way the world likes the looks of bags. But personally, I'm anti-square bag, or if you picture the Fjallraven Kanken bags, I'd like something to match my body and move with me. This bag does that. It's funny because I feel like all I could find on the internet last year when I bought this was large dudes rocking this small pack, which was of little to no help to me when trying to visualize this on myself. This is also where I'm going to do a quick shout out to Bellroy Backpacks for their website and how they represent their bags. Every angle is captured of the bag that you're looking at on their website, inside and out. And they use different models to represent the fit, so you'll have really big, tall folks and smaller folks. And they have expensive bags, and they know that. In order to take that leap of online purchasing faith, I feel like they've recognized the need to see the bag from all angles online, so go Bellroy. But this is very unlike Mystery Ranch, where you rarely see the bag on a human body and actually sometimes rarely see the inside of the bag itself online, which is kind of wild to me because I guess you can see some of these bags in person at a physical brick and mortar like REI, which is what I ended up doing, but otherwise you wouldn't have any idea about what it looks like inside unless you have X-ray internet vision. But anyway, back into the Rip Ruck. Usually you'd like the bag to match the body, but the way this bag is made allows the straps of the back to angle outwards, which would easily accommodate wider shoulders, which is great. If you've got a larger body, awesome, it'll fit you. If you've got a smaller bod, also great. I had my dad borrow this bag when we traveled last year, and it looks very natural and proportionally on him despite having a different body size than me. Thinking about weight, this is not your cousin's ultralight granite gear bag that they take out on the Superior hiking trail on 3-week runs with nothing but half a toothbrush and a packet of tuna for a trail treat after curling up in their micro towel for sleep. Mouthful. But there's a lot of zippers on this bag and a lot of padding and MOLLE attachment points, and these are all contributing to the weight. When you have it on, you really don't mind. You're not feeling any of this going on, but it's not your ultralight type, so don't mistake it as such. Thinking about weight and the materials, this bag tries to strike kind of the balance between strong and tear resistant and still light enough that you'll want to take it places casually. The 330 Robic is a nylon fabric, which is known for its load-bearing applications. It's stronger than standard nylon fabrics of the same denier and also has great abrasion resistance. It's not fully waterproof, but it usually repels water very nicely, and this bag in particular does, which typically means there was a DWR coating of some kind on it. This material and the overall design of the bag leverages that load-bearing strength, and I've hiked to a beach day spot with a 6-pack in it with no issues. Okay, here's a big con. The fabric drives me straight up a wall. I knew this going into it, and I knew it's what kept me from wanting to pull the trigger for ages on it, and I had to do it anyways because the inside is just epic, but my goodness, this material is like nails on a chalkboard to me. So I just lint rolled this yesterday. This is an example of how much fuzz gets stuck to this material. It attracts fuzz and hair and everything it touches. You have to lint roll it to get the stuff off, and it's sort of crinkly. I sound like such a nitpicky wuss right now, but it is something that matters, and I will die on this hill. It's a product that could be coming with you every day, all over the place in all your endeavors, and if you can't touch it without cringing, well, it certainly puts you in a pickle. Now, before we get into the totally redeeming, damn near brilliant interior, we're gonna go through some more rough patches, so hang in there, it gets better, but let's get those out of the way. Okay, outside stuff first. In the front, you're greeted by the main compartment flap, a front zipper pocket, and a single water bottle holder. Yes, you heard me, single water bottle holder. And it's on the right side when you're wearing it, which means for those that sling their bags around on their left shoulder so they can use their dominant right hand to grab things or leave it and try to reach for it, or for those that prefer to have their weighty things on their left side, this will screw you. I did not possibly think that I could have such high opinions about water bottle placement on bags until now, but apparently I do. I hate the placement so much, I just don't use that external water bottle sleeve at all. I maybe put an umbrella in it once because it was wet, but instead I opt to put things in the main compartment and pretend that slot doesn't exist at all. If that's how lefties feel with bags that have a sleeve on the left side only, good Lord, I'm so sorry for you folks. The front zippered pocket is again affected by this placement. If you're a righty and you like to sling things around, you're not going to be able to access anything in this side pocket very easily without some acrobatics. Also, God, this bag has so many issues, but the zipper gets snagged like every time on everything that are the flaps that are supposed to be giving it protection or low profile, I'm not entirely sure what. But once you get inside it, you have great storage. Great redeeming feature. Again, please hang in there. The bag gets better. Nice wide compartments, which are great. Pen slots that can accommodate multiples or bigger markers, and a wider slot for your wallet or notebook. I did up my bag with my own paracord for accents, but it came standard with black ties. There are some daisy chain attachments, which if you've watched my videos before, you know that I hate dangly things on my bags, won't tolerate it, but it's small enough that I don't mind it here. I actually put a little keychain thing on here just so you could see something attached to it. I prefer it if the top part didn't have it, but I get the need there if you wanted to attach another product to the top, which would be the nice option for expanding the bag in a pinch. Backside has some unnecessarily complicated sternum strap attachment points and a very aggressive sunglass holder, which I rarely use because I don't want to use two hands and a delicate eye when I'm trying to hike or keep moving and simply slip my sunglasses off. The top handle though, rocks my socks, super sturdy, wide, gives me no issues. The back panel foam is so dang good. It's so supportive, and again, this little bag is made to haul. The back panel has more support on the bottom for your lower back, and the divide makes it foldable. You can fold the dang thing in half. It's epic for storing in your suitcase for travel. Okay, super quick, if you've enjoyed the video so far, a quick like and subscribe would be very helpful. It actually lets YouTube know, and it makes a huge impact on me and the channel, so thank you, I appreciate it. Let's get back to it. Now, finally, on to the cool stuff. Firstly, I love the Velcro anchor point. It's just cool. I'm not in the military, but it's fun to accessorize, to show what your interests are on that panel, and there's not always a lot of opportunity to accessorize more masculine looking objects. You basically get like cufflinks, socks, and paracord, and that like little stupid titanium beads that are really popular lately to put on your knives and stuff. And this just gives a cool option for stuff that you want to wrap on your gear. And it's dang sturdy Velcro at that. The top flap. If you've ever owned a Mystery Ranch bag, they're known for their rip zip panels. This is a really cool design. It allows quick access to your internal contents with a forceful rip, and you're inside your ruck. It takes like a little bit of practice and breaking in of the zippers, but mine's easy to use now. I hate Velcro openings. I don't like the noise of it, and when in a conference room or meeting, and apparently I go in and out of my bag a lot, and this eliminates that. And if you don't want to zip it all the way up every time, you can just leave it loose, and there's a magnetic closure. This leads to my favorite thing about this bag. Milo's favorite things. The bag opening is like the mouth of a dang fish. It's wide, it's spacious, and it stays open. You can see everything in it when the bag flaps open, and my favorite thing to do is just to let it sit by my feet next to my chair and flap it open, and I can go in and out as much as I please. And the inside, oh, the glorious inside. Let's go front to back. The front is a huge open cavity. You can throw anything in there. Sweatshirts, shoes, six-pack, soccer ball, packing cubes, groceries, you name it. And because of the lids being able to stay open, you can put tall things in there too. Think of all the baguettes you can fit in there. And the bag isn't so rigid that you can stuff your stuff in there, and it moves to accommodate the contents. It's dope. There's also two side pockets. These are interesting, and I think interesting is a good thing. They kind of breach the boundary for standard backpack design, and I think that's great. It made me think differently about how I want to store things in here and change up my normal modes. They're zippered and small and not so long that you can't get your hand there and fish stuff out at the bottom. These ended up taking the place of my small ditty sack or pouches where I carry chapstick and toothpicks, hand sanitizer, etc. And instead of the sack, I have to put my contents in these and treat them like that's their own sack. I found that I ended up just getting like a spare of those items and keep them in there permanently instead of transferring my gear from bag to bag like I usually do for different occasions. Now I've grown to really appreciate this. Also, they're not stitched to the exterior of the bag. This allows for long stuff to be put along the inside contents of the bag, but still separated. I have yet to find an object that fits this besides my collapsed trekking poles, but if anyone has any thoughts, let me know in the comments down below. I might just be missing something, or it's more tactical forward, which is not my expertise. Next are two pockets with one zipper that are mesh. Great, see-through, and it fits a sunglass case perfectly. I find them a little deep to be wallet storage material, but I also like to slip maps or snacks in there. I'd have preferred if this wasn't divided and instead it was all one large pocket, which would open up my item storage size options. Then there's a sort of no man's land divider space. This is large and apparently modular. The backside is lined with Velcro fuzz, so one could, in theory, attach things to it. I'm thinking of a firearm holster panel, or organizers would probably be kind of the thought with this. I usually just keep a notebook or papers in there. Or where it really shines is when I want to bring my iPad and laptop together in this small bag. The iPad goes in there and the laptop goes into a truly glorious sleeve located at the back. The laptop holder is divine. I feel like my laptop is being cradled in the strong arms of a warrior while I transport it in there. The padding is very padded, and there's a top strap of Velcro that I actually don't mind for when I'm going on long distances with a laptop in there. And I just park the Velcro on the back when I don't want my laptop totally swaddled. To close out, there are definitely design improvements that need to be made with this bag. Milo's design improvements. If it were up to me, I'd make a slot for the lid to anchor open on the backside. There's magnets, why not make them dual purpose? and let it stand up on its own. Also change the dang material and let there be 2 water bottle slots. Make a non-daisy chain version or a non-molly version, and that would also make me happy. And the newer version does look like they tried some new things, which may or may not address these pain points. It looks like they kept the same material but added a coated nylon front panel, but also added a lot of molly attachment points. I don't love the look of that, but wouldn't mind eliminating some of that 330 material. The mouth of the Rip Zip looks different as well, with the zippers being under the panel itself instead of on the sides. I'm not sure how this would handle differently, and they moved the clam hood up higher, which I like. This would give more room down below for holding your gear, but less visibility to the contents. They did give 2 water bottle pockets, bless them, but it does appear that the interior glorious cocoon of the laptop has no more Velcro to fully surround it. I don't know why they didn't keep that, but for me, all of this other stuff aside, the water bottle slot alone would be reason to consider an upgrade, but they eliminated the side interior pockets, which I thought was such a huge strength and unique aspect to their interior design organization. The front outside zipper panel might be larger too, which is not relevant to me since I rarely use that panel as is, and it still looks like it has those little foldy flap things that would probably keep that zipper from moving smoothly up and down. To me, the upgrades on the new Rip Ruck 15 aren't enough for me to ditch my old one, and there's still a number of things that weren't addressed, which were cons for me. I'd be hard-pressed to move away from my OG Rip Ruck until something larger happens to those overall design flaws. But anyways, I hope this was helpful for those considering this unicorn of a bag. On a quick personal note, I'm actually wrapping up my master's in product design this semester and gearing up for graduation in the spring. It's wild how fast 2 years have flown by. Throughout my program, I've been laying the groundwork for what comes next. I'm actually exploring opportunities in outdoor gear design. That said, I'm looking to connect with like-minded designers who are passionate about human-centered innovation. If you or someone you know shares that drive, let's connect. As always, I'm Milotash. Thanks for watching.